Welcome, everybody, and welcome to episode 56 of the Quick Hands podcast. 56, George. I've got George on the side here,
56.
missing our leader.
Oh,
Poor
no.
Nico. It's going to be very
Strange.
It's
The
going to be a
room
hard
feels
slog
empty.
tonight. I know.
The room feels empty.
He carries the weight, mate. He does a lot, and it's going to be a big loss.
Shows the way.
Nico, I hope you feel better, mate. He's not with us today. He's not feeling the best. So, mate, hope you recover quickly, and please come next week because we need you as quickly
feels
as possible.
empty.
It feels empty. We
Feels
need you.
empty. But what a weekend, Artie. What a weekend.
Absolutely.
Let me describe my weekend to you. I came home last Thursday, dejected, tired, stressed out. I sat down, I turned the television on, and I saw the first local derby.
Oh, yes.
The first local
Dragons,
derby of NRLW, the Dragons and the Saints. And the Sharks. And what a game it was! I came home on the Friday expecting a good game, and what did the Broncos give us?
Wow.
A little gem.
They absolutely did.
Mate, I got up on Saturday morning early, and I witnessed one of the most brutal game I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah.
Lee played St. Helens.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And look, that was just a physical, brutal affair. And you know what the good part of it is? The referee kept his whistle in his pocket.
Oh, that's
the way it should be.
Yeah,
the way it should be.
Yeah.
That afternoon, I saw Penrith do what Penrith do.
Oh, God.
And later on, I saw Sharks and the Roosters, and that had me wondering all about life. And look, I was doing some work around the house on Sunday. I even went done some grocery shopping. I sat down this Sunday afternoon, and I witnessed. All I can say is how bizarre. I witnessed something which you don't see often, and that's my weekend, Addy. That was my weekend.
That's it, hey. Nice finals footy to catch up on, which was really
fantastic.
good. It was
It
great,
was
man.
fantastic,
It was awesome.
Addy.
And how good was it? Like the first two games were blowouts. We thought, oh, come on, man. We want to see a couple of close games, and
We got 'em.
luckily the bottom four of the eight delivered.
We got
with
it.
some classic cracking games, which we'll go through in a bit more detail. But
Coming to this
it was,
weekend.
it was a good weekend of football, and the depression's starting to come in, George, because now from 4 days to 3 days
I know,
to
don't
now
worry.
2 days of football, man.
You know what? I'm trying to put in the back of my mind, and because the rugby league is such high quality or such entertaining, maybe I should say that, so entertaining, it's probably masking my depression, but it's coming.
Yeah, it is.
It's coming, Addy. It's coming.
It is, unfortunately, mate. Well, let's start off this round with this episode with our usual controversy corner.
Oh,
Not that much to discuss this week, mate. A lot of it, more games played. A lot of the chat will be around the games, but we'll just go through some of the things that came out of this round. The first one, which apparently we saw some teeth marks or some slobber. Hey, our mate Tyson Gamble, he found some slobber on his arm.
hey, legend.
Now, as we speak, Whiten's facing the judiciary, so we don't know if he's been suspended yet or how long or whatever. But what's your taking on that, mate?
What am I supposed to do? That's all I can say to you.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? You know what? It's a disgrace. The referees, I'm going to say it again, they're a disgrace. Who was the referee? Who was the referee on the day?
Good question.
You're going to find that out for
Yep.
me, because you know what? In any other game, in any other round, okay, be it women's, be it men's, that was a bite, and that's a send off.
You know, I disagree.
No, it was a bite. He bit him.
The guy's arm was in his mouth.
He didn't have to chop down on it.
Oh, I don't know. You can't prove that.
I can't believe. I cannot
okay,
believe.
compare that to the James Graham one where he bit Slater in the ear. That was a bite. To me,
He should
that's
have been sent off
an
too.
intention. That's an intentional bite.
Yeah.
When the hand's in your mouth, he could be talking like, hey, like he wanted to say, I don't know. I reckon he could get out off.
Have you
that.
seen the replays
bite
of
mark?
it?
I'm trying to defend Jack. Yeah, I'm trying to defend him. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to defend the poor guy, but
I'm a fan of Jack, but he beat him.
yeah,
He beat him, and he should have been sent off. He should have been sent off. And if you ask me, I mean, thank God that Newcastle won because the conversations now would have been about the bite and about the refereeing blunder. Okay, not even 10 minutes.
Well, that's what the controversy is because apparently it happened in the women's game.
Yes, it got sent off. She got sent off.
And they're saying, why did they send that lady off and they didn't send off
he should have been sent off. He beat it. He beat Gamble. No doubt in my mind, okay? At the start, I might have had a doubt, but I kept on watching replays and he went the bite.
Well,
there's no doubt in my mind.
It doesn't help when your hand's in your mouth. Like his arm was in his mouth. Like he didn't go out looking for it and then bite. I don't know. I'm trying anything, Jack. You're gone. You're going to get some suspension.
He's going to get it, and you know what? It's South Sydney's problem now.
Yeah.
And it's not Jack's go.
No.
But he beat him.
Yeah.
So I don't. You know, once upon a time, okay, biting, squirrel grips, you name it. You know, facial massages. It was all on.
Yeah.
It was all on. Now, mind you, the biting part of it was never accepted, but it was on.
It was on. Yeah.
Everybody bit.
Yeah.
Wasn't accepted. Okay. But in this day and age, with so many cameras, you don't bite. What came over Jack?
Yeah.
To bite Tyson. But you know what? Serves him right because that bite turned the game.
Yeah, it did.
That turned the game. That was the mark. If you have a marker to say that when did the game turn, it was right there. So you know what? He didn't do himself a favour, nor his team.
Yeah.
So good on you, Jack. You know what I mean? Good on you. But
the question, bad way to end your season or your Canberra career, isn't it? With a bite
and a loss. But
and a loss.
You know what? The question mark isn't that Jack beat him. Jack beat him. But the refereeing again, we always go back. I'm telling you now. If any year decides a grand final, it's going to be this year.
Yeah,
I'm telling you now,
I think so too,
I can feel it.
Yeah,
I can feel it.
Unfortunately, I can feel it too.
Well,
if not them, it's the bunker or someone, you know.
The bunker. Well, that was the bunker because he sent it up to the bunker, didn't he?
Klein.
And of course it was Ashley Klein. Of course it was fucking another man of feathers. You know what I mean? Of course it was Ashley Klein. Who was in the bunker? No, we don't know who's in the bunker.
Senior review official, isn't it? Adam G.
Adam G.
But I'm to be honest, I'm glad he didn't stay off too because it would have ruined the game. Like I'm glad they had 13 on 13 the whole time. And yeah, I know. Can't do it. It's terrible. It's a terrible
Look,
thing.
You know what? We're going to sweep it under the carpet because Knights won.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can't believe how many journalists are supporting Jack. I can't believe it. The only one not supporting Jack is Buzz. I can't believe again. I'm agreeing with Buzz. This is twice in 2 weeks. I can't believe it. But you know what? These journos, how they support their mates is mind-boggling. You know, especially the Fox journos.
Yeah. But didn't Jack sort of dob himself in as well? He said, "What am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do?"
Jack,
what am I supposed to do?
I know.
What am I supposed to do? He had his arm in my mouth. Of course, I chopped on it. What am I supposed to do? I mean, you know, seriously,
crazy.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope he gets about 12 weeks. He'll get about four or five. So.
Yeah, he'll probably get 4 or 5. In the old days, they'd get longer, but yeah, now they sort of. I can't believe tripping doesn't get much of a fine. Remember in the old days, tripping
was a big thing.
Now it's like,
and it should be a big
2
thing.
X, yeah.
It should be a big thing. So I don't know why it's not.
Yeah, it's changed a lot of things, eh? Pap, young Pap got injured again, but from all reports I heard today, apparently it's not as bad, and he'll be back for pre-season training. So that's good news that came out of it.
It is.
But on the night, it looked awful, mate. It saddened the night, didn't it? Everyone's heart just sank.
I kept on saying no. When they said it's a compound fracture, meaning the bone sticking out, I'm thinking no. I felt so sorry for him. And you know what? In hindsight, and hindsight's great. 1 or 2 games in Queensland Cup, and then straight on the bench might have been too much for him.
Yeah.
maybe in hindsight now, you know what I mean. I understand why John Kreese did it.
Yeah.
Because he still gives you an X factor, and he's nowhere near NRL ready.
Yeah.
But I get it. But you know what? You risk the man, and the man got injured, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody likes him too. So
Yeah, he's
this is
very
the
popular.
issue.
Seems like looks like a nice kid, you know. So it was unfortunate for the guy, but I just hope that he does come back in the preseason, gets a full preseason under his belt, and he starts the season fresh, brand new. So hopefully it will be good.
Hope he
Good
does. Hope he does some weights as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, John Kreese will have him ready. The other one, mate, that came out this weekend was from the Cowboys, a team that's not in the 8. The guy with the porn star name Valentine Holmes, with the picture on Insta or wherever it was, him holding a little paper bag, a little plastic bag, with some white stuff in it.
How stupid can you be?
I know.
How stupid can you be? You know what? I'm convinced. You know how you can send messages either public, a story, or you can do a private message.
Yeah.
I reckon he tried to do a private message, and he's hit the wrong button. And by the time he worked it out, okay, it was up for everybody to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now, you know what they do in their free time. Honestly, I always say this: I don't care. As long as you come on Saturday and beat your best, I don't really care what you do. You could do whatever you want to do. Yeah. It's none of my business. I don't care. You know what I mean? Because eventually it'll catch up with you if you want to be an elite player. But you know what? Do it discreetly.
Yeah.
Do it behind closed doors. Don't go, don't go and picture, your phone, take a picture and put it on Insta. Okay, and what was his excuse? Because he had a video link up.
It was just a joke or something. Yeah,
the joke went wrong. And you know what? Nothing's going to happen to him. You know why? Because he's going to go to the the committee there. They're having another meet up there, whatever, and say, well, it wasn't cocaine.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they can't prove anything.
Exactly.
Oh, the joke went wrong. It's not a joke. Okay, so they're going to let that slide. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you what, but he could be in line for playing for Australia.
Yeah.
Well, is he now? What's Mal going to do?
I know. That's the thing.
What's Mal going to do now? You know what I mean?
Interesting. It'll be interesting what comes out of that. Funny you say that, because another thing I forgot to mention with Wyden is there's rumours about him contemplating coming back out of retirement for rep football. That was being floated around. So I don't know what prompted him to do the backflip. Maybe the biting's got something to do with it. Maybe Mal's got in his ear and said, mate, you're a potential Aussie candidate, and that's why it might have changed his mind. But that's an interesting thing that's come out.
Do you know what Mal said?
What?
I'll wait for the judiciary, and if he doesn't get suspended, I might consider picking him.
Oh wow!
So he's either way. There's no remorse there. There's no win-win.
Do you think Ricky Stewart maybe pushed him into retiring from reps, and now that he's out of the Ricky Stewart thing, he's gone? You know what?
Oh, I don't know.
Ricky doesn't.
I don't know. How old's Jack? Is he 30?
I think he's 30.
He's 30, so he's got plenty of time.
Yeah, I was surprised with that because we could have used him in the State of Origin.
Yeah, absolutely. He retired too early.
He did retire.
He didn't have a great season in general. I mean, Jack's still good, but in general, the Jack we know, he's not the Jack we saw this year.
Exactly.
Why Ricky put him to centre and not 5'8"? What did he say? He said that he was always a centre, just helping us out at 5'8". Well, Rick, please. But anyway, Look, the Cowboy guy's an idiot, and and Jack is he's an idiot too. But let him go to South City. South City problem there.
Yeah,
let him have 6 weeks off there at Souths there, and.
Exactly. Dimitri's got enough on his plate. Now he's got another guy
on his plate now, poor Dimitri.
Actually, did you check on Nick today? Because
yes,
he's all right. Maybe Latrell gave him a visit or something. He's been giving Latrell a hard time.
Yes, you know what? He was at Townsville during the week, scouting for us, as you know.
Oh, yeah. How do you
Who I don't know what maybe I don't know what he picked up there because he picked something obviously up from there. But who knows what JT done to him?
Wow.
Who knows what JT done to him?
Yeah. Maybe it was Nick that gave him the little plastic bag or something.
Hey,
Set him up for failure.
you know what? Look, there's word that Nick was involved there with Val. I didn't want to say anything, but I'm not going to blame it on Nick. But there's rumours, but we'll see what he says next week.
Absolutely, we've got to question him on that.
Question him on that, please.
That's for sure. Now, another one that I heard this morning.
By the way,
Yep.
they can't do anything because it's out of season.
Oh, really?
They can't test for.
They
can test for enhancing, steroids, whatever.
But
they can't test for recreation.
Oh, wow.
So nothing's going to happen anyway. So
It's all done.
Storm at a teacup.
It is. Now, one thing that came out, mate, for the preliminary final, Penrith apparently want to play their preliminary at Accor Stadium, but apparently the NRL want them to play at Combank. So there's a bit of toing and froing going between both teams because I think Penrith get the option, but the NRL are going to force them. And the only reason why the NRL want them to play at Combank is because if they play at Accor, 80,000-seater stadium, and they're playing Melbourne, they're scared they won't fill the stadium.
Well, they won't.
And whereas at Combank, they probably will fill the stadium with 40,000. So what's your thoughts on that one, mate?
If they want to play at Homebush, let them play at Homebush. Yeah. I hate the ground, so I don't know why they want to play at Homebush.
They've got a good record.
Have they? Okay.
Especially in finals.
Okay. Look, they should play, and I would think that NRL would be encouraging them playing at Homebush because they can get more people in there. So why don't they put some money behind it because it's their gate and promote the game?
Yeah. And
try to get 50,000 instead of just saying, oh, well, we're going to get 30,000 and that's it. So, look, I'd prefer to see him playing at Parramatta. But if they want to play at Homebush, let them play at Homebush. You know what I mean?
Closer for the fans too, isn't it, at Combank? They don't
Absolutely.
have to travel as far. So
absolutely. It's up the road, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
Homebush is another that much distance.
Yeah, and I think Melbourne would have more experience on the Accor as well. So
yeah,
I think they're doing Melbourne more of a favour playing there than Combank. So
I don't know, probably.
Interesting. Yeah,
probably, but
interesting.
Look, at the end of the day, I think that whatever Penrith wants, that's what they should get. And the reason being is because they're minor premiers. So
yeah,
but they're going to make the league's going to make them play Parramatta, aren't they?
I think so. That's what the NRL's pushing hard for. Yeah.
It's going to be a Parramatta. Then it's going to be a Parramatta. It's a win-win, I think.
I think so. Yeah, at least
there's no loser there.
At least I won't be a blue bet with 13,000.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Wow. And like I said, there wasn't much in the controversy, but there's one I might just bring up just for the fun of it. The New Zealand Warriors, they've got this catch cry called Up the Wars. Well, apparently the Panthers, being the Panthers, was it Luai? I'm not sure who, brought out Up the Pars. Yeah. So
you know
what happened with that, mate?
I'll tell you what's funny about that. There's more stir about that, or what Luai said, than Val's little bags. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
You know what? He said that after the game, and what the issue is that the social media department of the Panthers took it and made a video, put a song to it, and they accelerated. Now, if Luai said it and stopped there, I think how many people saw it really. But once the Penrith media machine took it and put it on Instagram and pushed it. Well, that's when it really accelerated. Word has it, I heard on SEN that Ivan picked up the phone and told the media department what he thought about up the paths there, whatever, and they pulled it straight away. But you know what, Jerone's Jerone. Jerone does what Jerone does.
Yeah.
I know Nick questions his character, not his play, his character. Yeah. And I do too. Sometimes he gets too much, but That's Jerome, man.
That's Jerome, exactly.
That's Jerome. You can't when you buy Jerome or when you got Jerome, you gotta accept everything about Jerome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't think it's disrespectful at all. Now I haven't actually. I won't lie. I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen what the media department of Panthers done with it.
Yep.
I can imagine what they've done with it. But whatever Jerome said, I think I'm fine. I don't know about you.
Yeah, me too, man. It's just storm in a teacup.
Yeah,
It's a little thing.
yeah.
But no news. There wasn't much news to report this week, so they just threw anything they can, and they found that one. So.
That's why.
All right, mate. That's basically it for the controversy, mate. There wasn't that many, like I said, because we had finals football. A lot of it, a lot of the talk will be around the games today. Now, if I told you in the semi-finals, there's going to be one team that's going to have 0, score no points, would you have thought it would be Storm?
No, that was unbelievable.
Game 1, we saw Broncos play the Storm. The Broncos came out 26-0. They won that game. And now I'm in shock that the Storm lost. They didn't score a single point. Were the Broncos really that good, or were the Storm really that bad? What's your take on it, George?
The Broncos were really good.
Yeah.
And the Storm were pretty much that bad. But admittedly, the Broncos didn't let the Storm play.
Yep.
Yeah, they restricted their play. To me, for the first time, I've never said I've never said this in my life. It's the first time. I think that the Storm wasn't prepared. I don't think John Kreese had prepared him, or if he did prepare him, he didn't cut through, which is even worse. Which is even worse. That means that they're not listening to him.
Yeah.
Which I can't believe. I can't believe that one. So I'm expecting them to be prepared this week. You know what? The Broncos are a very good team. They went out there to prove a point. They play so fast.
Yeah.
They're not a team that wrestles on the ground. They like getting up quick. They play a genuine power game.
Yeah, they do.
They're a genuine power team. They're good. What can I say? I mean, Reece Walsh, every time I see the kid, he excites me. He just excites me. He's electric. I mean, every time he gets the ball, I expect something to happen, and he does. Payne Haas. Payne. Oh, my God. He's unstoppable. You know what? When Storm came back into the game, it was the 15 minutes that Payne Haas was off. Seriously, they came back into the game somewhat. When John Kreese put Pat back on, he put him at fullback. He switched Meaney to the centres, and he put Nelson on. Okay, they started making some headway. Okay, for some unknown reason, he switched Pap to lock, and he put Meaney back to fullback. Okay, they just lost their way when they were coming back.
Munster was off his game big time, wasn't he?
Munster, you know what?
I've never seen Munster so.
I've never seen
quiet.
Munster. I've never seen Hughes.
Yeah.
And
I found that bizarre, mate.
Well, how about
Cameron
Grant?
Munster. Yeah, Harry Grant as well.
They were so off. So that's what I'm trying to say. That something's wrong. They weren't on. They weren't prepared. On the flip side, this Broncos team were extremely prepared. They went straight through the middle. Okay, I don't believe everything I saw in the sense that because Storm was so poor, I think he magnified the good parts of the Broncos game. They still made a lot of errors.
Yeah,
Still made a lot of,
they did.
and they still missed a lot of tackles. But because they're so brilliant, everything gets covered over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything gets covered over. I shared some stats with you, and those stats weren't for the pod. Those stats were for you because I knew what you think of the regarding the Broncos. I would like to see the Broncos under pressure and to see how they deal with pressure.
Yeah. One thing that amazed me about that game, you saw Adam Reynolds. He was just a general. He was just phenomenal. His
Yes.
kicking game, the way he just guided the team around, the difference he's made to this Bronco team alone is so good. And I've always said, I think I always told, I can't understand why he hasn't played as much Origin games as we think, because he's a big game player. When there's big games, he can play, and I think he's perfect for the Origin arena.
Yeah.
I think he played one game or something. I'm not sure, but I don't even think he's played.
Artie, not only Origin, now in hindsight, and you know that we're big fans, we're both big fans of Villiers. I think,
South.
I think it was a mistake. I think it's a mistake. I think Souths are crying out, and Elias will get there. He's only 21 or 22, and he's his third year of NRL. So he will get there. But they're crying for exactly what Reynolds is, a conductor.
He is.
Okay. Exactly what he is. So, you know what? In this Broncos team, he's blessed. He's got all this firepower, all this youth, all this firepower around him. Okay. All he has to do is hit the right man and kick. Because they give him so much space. Okay. A few things which the Broncos got away with because they were rolling through the ruck. Okay, they'll get in all the 50-50 calls. They'll get in most of the penalty shouts. They'll push in the 10 metres hard. And I don't understand why Storm wasn't pushing the 10 metres hard. I don't understand why Storm weren't wrestling like they usually do. I don't understand that because the Storm had to get stopped somehow, and they just let them roll straight through them. So it was mind-boggling. It was enjoyable, but I'm going to say it again. I don't believe them. I don't believe what I saw. I believe that they're a very good team, but the Storm magnified the good parts of the game. But you know what? Next year, they're going to miss Flegler big time.
Yeah.
Or Payne Haas is going to miss Flegler big time because have a look this week or next week, okay? Very rarely Payne Haas is the first hit up. It's always Flegler first hit up, and he comes off Flegler's tails, okay? Mind you, Payne still makes much more meters than Flegler, but Flegler's a genuine good front rower.
Fantastic, yeah.
And Ricky had a good game. Ricky on the edges.
I like Ricky.
And you know what? He's a grub. I love him. Carrigan. And he's got to get stopped in the grand final. And we're assuming that they're going to play Penrith in the grand final. What Payne Haas does, Carrigan does exactly the same. He's hard to control. He's full of beans, full of energy. He's so physical. He's such a hard defender. Because Payne isn't aggressive. Payne isn't a hard defender. He tackles hard, but you know what I mean about aggressive. Carrigan's aggressive. He runs aggressive. He tackles aggressive. So
natural leader, man, too. He's got leadership qualities.
Oh, he's going to be the Broncos captain. He's going to be the Australian captain.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's phenomenal.
Eventually, your man, Isra Man. Star.
I love him, man.
Star. And you know what? I found out he's only on $220,000. How they got it.
Flanagan's chasing him hard.
Flanagan's chasing him hard, yeah.
Apparently.
And
he'll stay though. I can't see him leaving.
I can't see him leaving. And Herbie Farnsworth. Is he going to?
Good signing for the Dolphins, mate.
Yeah, very good signing.
That's a very good signing.
Very.
They'll miss him for sure next year.
Good signing. And you know what, Katoni, I find it interesting. There's days like last week, which is a star, and there's other days when he gets hit hard early. Okay, he goes missing in action.
Oh, really?
Katoni.
Yeah.
So, or full of errors.
I rate him. I think he's great.
I'm not saying
a really bad game from him. I've seen some errors in him, but I haven't seen a bad game.
Have you seen a quiet game in him?
Maybe the Origin game when he made Origin, but that was understandable. But I would have persisted with him, to be honest, because I think he's another Bradman Best. I think if you have both them on the centres, you'll do okay. I like a Tony.
I'm a fan. I think he'll grow and he'll mature, and this whole team will grow and mature. In the next couple of years.
He looks like a quiet guy. Like he just stays in his shell, and once he gets comfortable, then he explodes. And I think I'll rate him highly. I think he's damaging.
I know one thing, that Kevy had them up on Thursday or Friday.
Oh,
sorry.
definitely, yeah.
They were up.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
It's a shame that Storm wasn't up. And 26-0 tells a story. What can I say? I actually enjoyed the game in terms of the Broncos attack. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But like I said, lots of errors from both teams.
Yeah.
And the
They're
Broncos.
nervous. The Broncos' first finals game for a lot of these guys, so you'd expect a bit of nerves. I think now that they've got that out of them, I think you'll see a better Broncos in the next game.
Can I just be clear? The Broncos, 32 missed tackles. If they do that, or if they do half of that in the grand final, they might be under pressure. 18 ineffective tackles, and 12 unforced errors, and usually that comes in your half.
Yeah.
Let them do 6
Yeah.
against Penrith.
Yeah.
And let them try to get out Let them try to get out of there. Let Reynolds try to kick them out. Not going to happen. So that's just what happened.
Yeah.
They're just the facts that I know. Mind you, Penrith made some errors as well.
Yeah. Finals is all about momentum, and this was their first game, and beating the Melbourne Storm 26-0. These guys are going to be so confident for the next game. It's going to help them.
Well, they'll be the grand final.
Hopefully, man.
I can't see any other.
You never know. The weird things happen in finals, man.
I can't see any other answer to the question here.
Yeah. The game after that, mate, was the Panthers and the Warriors. Now, the Panthers, we saw an Nathan Cleary masterclass. He had an absolute superb game. But in the first half, they had 63% of the possession, and they had 22 out of 24 completions. So that just set them up for just an absolute flogging, to be honest. They were just all over the Warriors. What's your thoughts on that, mate?
Penrith, always in control.
Always. Never looked in trouble.
Never in a measured performance, a controlled performance. They gave the Warriors the ball where they wanted to give them the ball. The Warriors looked out of sorts, actually.
Well, they had a halves combination of Tamir Martin and Sean Johnson. And
this was the problem.
And I felt sorry for the Warriors because I thought if they had the other two back, would have made a huge difference. But,
a huge. I don't think they would have won. I don't think they would have won, but a huge.
It would have done a huge difference. But Dylan Edwards and that did okay still. Oh, Dylan, sorry, the half, Dylan. The hooker there, the half.
Oh, the hooker.
Dylan Walker.
Dylan Walker. The hooker done
they did
very well.
No, the 5'8".
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, in the absence of the other halves, they did okay. But
and talking about the hooker, Wade Eden done extremely well. But you know what? This we've been waxing lyrical about this Warriors pack. The Penrith pack just
destroyed them.
Yeah, just eliminated them. Leota and Fisher Harris. When they want to get over a pack, they get over a pack. Sorensen and Martin. You know what? I do worry about Penrith because I don't think Luke Gardner is a Panther. There's something, and I know he's not a centre. He's not a centre.
He was out of position.
He's out of position, and who's going to come back? Taruba, is it?
No, Isaac Targo.
Targo. Yeah. Hopefully Targo comes back.
He's huge. He's a fantastic player.
Because they're going to need it. So hopefully he'll come back. And I worry about Smith on the bench. I think he's a very good player, and I think he's about a year away of being outstanding. But at the moment, just maybe too small. Maybe he just looks out of. He just sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. But look, I mean, we can talk about nothing now, but Penrith were just too good.
They were
too controlled.
Amazing. Yeah.
There's nothing to say.
You can't see anyone beat. Can you see anyone beat them? They're just that good, aren't they? They're just clinical. They're a phenomenal team.
I'm going to say what I told you before. If they play near their best this year, no one can beat them.
No.
And it's not individual; it's the system. Because you put the Broncos next to them, and the Broncos individually are a better team.
Mm.
Think about it. The Broncos individually are a better team.
Yeah.
Okay, but as a collective or as a system, and we've seen it, one leaves, the other one comes in.
Yeah.
Nothing changes.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. Mind you, I don't think for 1 minute that Colgar and Luluway, I would prefer to have Luluway.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Jack does his job, very efficient, listens to what he has to do. Nathan does a little bit more now. Ivan's changed the system. If you see, just subtly, he's changed the system because Nathan goes both sides of the ruck now, okay, and runs more. Yo's dropped back a little bit more instead of being the first receiver. So he's changed the system already. Wow. So that's what makes him, as you say, the coach of the year.
Wow. Yeah.
That's what makes him the coach of the year.
By far. Interesting stat too. Did you know they've played in the last 10 finals games, they've conceded 120 points. So they average 12 points a game. Penrith.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Very impressive indeed. So, dominant display by the Panthers.
I love them. I love the system. I love watching good rugby league or consistent rugby league or high quality rugby league, and they dish it up every week. But don't disregard the Warriors, yeah? Yeah. Don't write them off. Write them off.
And both teams, the Broncos and the Panthers, both won by 26. The Broncos won 26-0, and the Panthers won 32-6. So Warriors got a try out of it, which was good.
Adi, can I suggest something?
Yeah, mate.
It's Penrith, and around the corner, down the road, is the Broncos, then the rest.
Yeah, yeah. And can you believe that the current World Club champions are St Helens and not Penrith? Because Penrith okay. We have watched this team just dominate the NRL and they're not the club champions.
I watch St Helens every week, and I think, and especially the first 3 quarters of the season in England, trying to think, what happened?
I still can't believe Penrith could not beat the English team in St Helens.
In saying that, on Saturday morning, they're brutal.
Yeah.
They're back to their best. Okay. They're brutal. They're the most physical game I've seen in recent history.
Wow.
It was so physical. I mean, you got to watch it. It's so physical.
Yeah. Well, thank God we've got bottom 8 teams of the sudden death semi-finals. Because those 2 games were the best games. Started on Saturday night.
Yes.
We had 5th versus 8th. No, it was 6th versus 7th, sorry. We had the Sharks take on the Roosters in the little shoebox there, the little stadium points bet, the prison.
The prison.
Now, watching that game, George, I watched the whole thing and I'm looking at it and thinking, how the hell did the Sharks lose that game, and how did the Roosters win?
I have no
Some
idea.
really weird decisions. I thought one decision that probably would have cost them was when the Roosters were down a man, when Teddy got sin-binned. The Sharks opted for a penalty goal when they were just all over the Roosters. The Roosters were on their haunches. They had nothing. But they went for the goal and they got 6 ahead. And then Teddy came back. So I thought that was a very defining moment for me because that allowed Roosters to score a lucky try. At the end of the day, it was a lucky try to get them to 12 all.
Yeah.
And then they finished the game with a 13-12 victory with a young 21-year-old Sam Walker, who second time he's done this now. He's won a clinical game for the Roosters. What a special 21-year-old young man this guy is. Started the season okay, got injured, and then the last few games he's come back and he's just
we got dropped too,
back on top. He got dropped, yeah. So
I have no idea how the Roosters got out of this one. I have no idea.
And they had a lot of injuries through the game. Yeah. The back line was gone.
They'll falling apart. They're falling apart. And you know what, Cronulla, I think shows more their maturity than their quality of play. I mean, I've heard reports that they need an X Factor back.
Yeah.
They've got X Factor back.
I think so.
They've got X Factor.
I couldn't believe I heard that.
At worst, they might need another middle because you know how all year I've been saying that it's a middle issue.
Mm.
But you know what? If they go down to reserve grade, I'm sure there's a middle there that they can bring up. Mm. You know what I mean? So I don't think they need any more personnel. I think they need to mature
Yeah.
as a rugby league team.
Yeah, I think it was just a couple of really bad decisions that they made on the field that cost them in the end. I thought they were the better side. It's just
I think they're the better side.
Yeah,
I think they're the better side.
a few brain snaps. It's just a mental thing.
First half, Nico was in control and just all over the shop. Who missed the 2 field goals? Nico, eh? The setup of field goals,
Yeah,
was mind-boggling.
it was.
Was mind-boggling. Seriously.
Credit to Teddy and Kiri for blocking those field goals. They ran so fast to block them. It was phenomenal.
And when Wade got taken off, injured, okay, well, that's half your experience.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
They
controlling
are a
the
young
team.
side. You're right. They
Yeah.
are a young side. They'll get better.
Most of them have got just over 50 NRL games, honestly.
Yeah.
So I you got to give them time to grow as a team and individually. I mean, apparently Toby Rubloff, because he did play well, okay, he came off and just collapsed in front of the bench. He was so tired. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Look, I'll go back again. I do not know how the Roosters won this game. Lindsay Collin.
He's phenomenal.
Isn't he?
He was
Isn't he?
amazing.
You look at his stats and you don't see anything out of the ordinary. But when you look at him playing, he's a beast.
He is.
Okay, I've been bagging Brandon Smith most of the year. I've got to admit, the last fortnight to month, he's been good.
Yeah.
Not a traditional hooker, but he's been good.
But
Very good.
Lindsay Collins is
Love.
the absence of JWH. He's just taken on that extra responsibility. Like he's leading by example at the front there. He's just smashing it. He's just been phenomenal.
He's been like that all year.
He looks like that Gary Busey guy. You know that actor, Gary Busey.
He does too.
But,
But he's been like that all year. Remember he played
he has.
Origin.
And Origin, he was great in Origin.
Yeah. So
And this other guy, Siwa Wong, where did
did
they
he come from?
find him?
apparently is he a local junior?
I don't
what
know.
local juniors have they got?
He's going to be a star. They put him in the centres at the end because the guy got injured and he still played well in the centres.
Yeah.
Victor Radley, they all stood up, man.
Victor,
You know-
Victor, thank God he's playing well. I thought he'll go to England.
Nah.
Thank God he's playing well.
But this game just showed, right, one team had full of experience, final experience, and knew how to win a game and hang on, and the other team was just didn't have the experience. They just made little errors that just kept them back in it. But the Roosters, got to give them credit, man.
Yeah.
Not only scored 2 tries, and one of them was when they were one short.
Yeah, no.
So the Roosters dug in, man, with that injury toll.
Robbo said it all. Roosters DNA, passion, care. We wanted it more. Yeah, and that's what it came down to. If I was the Sharks supporter, I'd be extremely and bitterly disappointed. If I was a Sharks player, I'd be even more disappointed. Another wasted year. Yeah. But in saying that, they've all learned a lesson. Yeah. Doesn't help. Yeah. But they've learned a lesson. They should be going to Melbourne or wherever the next game is. Yeah. But unfortunately, they're not. The Roosters are, but they're depleted as well. Yeah, they're very depleted. So you know what I think? What's his name? Robbo should learn from this year and last year. They've got to the same position as last year, and they've been depleted both times, right? Mm-hmm. Now I noticed that the Robbo starts slow, the year slow. Yeah. It looks like he tries things out and does whatever so he can get. I think Robbo's got to go opposite. I reckon he's got to start strong and get the points, and then at the back end of the season, then he can start resting players like Cleary and everyone else does, because they always get to this stage and they're just ravaged with injuries. Like especially Manu, he can't last a final season, can he? And they miss him. He's huge. I can't believe he got injured again. He got injured, and Billy Smith played with a broken jaw. I was going to say. Gee, I feel sorry for that kid. Yeah. He can't cop a break. I know. He happened to Pab as well. Yeah. But this kid here, I think he's been in the squad for 5 years, and he's played like 12 or 13 or 14 or 15 games, and we see potential in him. So exactly. It's a damn shame. George, Roosters lost Swali'i, Manu, and Billy Smith, or they got injured. Billy Smith was playing injured. So that's 3 out of 4 backline players, man, and they're still have they got any replacements? Well, they got replacements? Well, they got Momorowski coming back this week. He's been out since round 9. Okay.
And I think that Hutchison guy, maybe he might be playing in the
Okay, he's in
centre
the
or
other
somewhere.
centres.
So they've got some backup there. No. Corey Allen, I think he's going to play.
Corey Allen as
So
well.
they're backups, but huge losses. Manu,
Huge
Suali'i, and Billy Smith are going to be huge losses. Cronulla will learn from this. They were better than last year, I thought.
Yes.
They defended a lot better than last year in the final series.
Yeah, they missed a lot of tackles still, but still.
Poor Fitzy.
You know what? Fitzy being a defensive coach and the player who he was a very defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
How he hasn't got this team on song defensively is beyond me.
Mm.
Isn't it strange?
And I like their hooker too, Brayley? Brayley, yeah. He's a good little hooker. He tackles his heart out. And the guy I really, really like is Brenton Nakora.
Yeah, well,
Can't he run good lines?
Yeah, we all like Nakora.
So a lot to play with. It's a young team. They're only going to get better. Apparently, they're not even going to buy much because they're really happy with what they've got.
No. Everything's there.
Maybe Wade Graham. He's going to go. Maybe replace him with. He's retired. Yeah, so they're going to maybe bring another gun for him. But
they picked up a front rower from Newcastle at the start of the year.
Okay.
Absolute gun.
Yeah.
So maybe he can come through. So I'm telling you now, they don't need anybody. They're short of middle probably. At best, they're short of middle. So it's all there. They just need to mature. But I'll say it again: how they lose? How they lose? I got no idea.
Fitzy now is looking at 0 from 3 in finals, right? Yeah. Don't forget, John Morris was shafted. He was making finals on fringes, and they just didn't think he can go the next step.
Yeah.
Do you think next year's going to be a pressure year for Fitzy? Do you think if he doesn't get him?
You know what? I'd like to think that they can pass the first week of the final at least.
Yeah.
If they're top 4, would be nice.
Yeah.
Last year they were top 4. They went bang bang, didn't they? They went out straight sets.
Well, I think this time they're going to. I think I heard the NRL are going to change people that organise the draw. It's not going to be Adam Eddinghausen this year.
Thank Christ.
They found a guy named Gavin Miller, apparently. He's going to be looking after the draw. No. You know what Cronulla need, mate? They need a tough draw where they play the top 8 sides regularly so they can toughen them up because they get a bit of a soft draw.
They do.
And beating the bottom teams to get to the 8 and none of the 8 teams, it's not a good...
No.
It doesn't prepare you for finals,
ET didn't do him a favour. I'm telling you now, ET didn't do him a favour.
They're going to get the hardest draw next year.
Probably. Every hard team, probably.
To finish off the finals, mate, we had one more game. It ended up being a cracker. Went to extra time. We had the Newcastle Knights beating the Raiders 30-28 in extra time. And how good was the atmosphere? It was just buzzing. You can feel it coming through the TVs. Like the crowd was enormous, but what a game that was. And that's the Knights' 10th in a row. So their momentum is sky high. And our man, Mr. Slobberman, hey, the Tyson, how good was he?
He's so good.
Did you hear about Willie Mason, how he bagged Newcastle? He said...
You sent me that clip and I can't believe what Willie said. What game is he watching? Because we're watching a different game.
He said it's the worst spine ever. And today, Callum Ponga came out and said... We're a team sport, man, and Tyson's a big part of that, you know what I mean? He's been enormous this year. And he has been, because, what's his name? Jackson's been injured for a while. He's on and off.
He hasn't been playing
He's had different half partners. He's been steering the ship in the halves, Tyson.
Yeah, so. he's the star of the show.
But everyone had Canberra to get flogged. A lot of people were 13 plus. Canberra got no chance. Even Ricky Stewart mentioned it a few times in his press. But they held in there. The Canberra could have easily won this game as well. If it wasn't for a couple of bad decisions in the end. Fogarty missed a couple of field goals, a couple of chances he should have. There was one good chance where he should have gone for a field goal, but he kicked it wide for some reason when he was 10 metres out. But Canberra's got themselves in good position and played some tough footy. So
the Knights got sucked in and played Raiders style football. They grinded them out of the game. Canberra had him first half.
Yeah.
Canberra had him.
They did.
Canberra had him on toast.
16-6, wasn't it, I think, from memory?
I think it was 16.
16-6 at half time.
16-6 at half time. And they were just having their way. They were much more physical. Mm-hmm. It seemed they were very passive, Newcastle. They did take the crowd out of the game, which was a good thing for Canberra. You know what? Once I saw the first half, and how it was unfolding, I couldn't believe that the Knights had got sucked in playing the Canberra game. But I thought, well, you know what? If anyone can, Canberra can.
Yeah.
Get you into a grind and not let you out of a grind. But the turning point was the bite.
Yeah.
It changed everything. For some reason, the Knights just got a second wind and off they went. Look, the game was exciting.
When
It was
did the bite
very
happen?
messy.
What was the score when
Very
the bite
messy.
happened?
I think it was 12, 12
16, 12.
16, 12, something
Wow.
like that. Then all of a sudden they scored 3 unanswered tries, I think.
Wow. After the bite.
Yeah, after the bite.
Jeez.
So, well, good on your Jack. But don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Things are a very good player. Tyson Gamble is playing very well.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny that I'm looking at both squads. The only player I can say had an ordinary game was Fogarty. You know what? He's not confident. He's not a confident 5'8". He doesn't take the moment by stride. You know what I mean? They should have won.
Yeah.
They should have won. It was twists and turns in this game. If you're a neutral like me, it was exciting. If you're a Knights or a Raiders supporter, you'll be cutting your wrists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'll be cutting your wrists, Adi, because you know what? You didn't know what was happening. You know what I mean? For me, I'm sitting down and watching this, and I'm ignoring, because if you turn the sound off, you see a game with a lot of mistakes. I was ignoring the mistakes. I'm thinking, what just happened?
Yeah.
Wow, what just happened? Wow, it was just so entertaining.
It was.
Love Marju.
Yeah, it's been great.
Best was a bit quiet. Actually, Gagai was a little bit quiet.
He had a few errors in him, didn't he? Oh my God, he was. Yeah.
Young is the best winger or close to the best winger of the game.
He's fantastic. He had a phenomenal season. He's having a really good season. 25 tries so far.
25 tries,
and he just lights it up, doesn't he?
He scored 2 on the day.
I think he scored 2, and one was a long distance one where he ran a fair length of the field. So
and Kalen,
phenomenal.
Kalen, you know
Kalen's
what can I say? What can I say? The kids.
Do you think it was a penalty at the end that got him the penalty to kick the winning goal?
It was offside. It was an offside penalty.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. You know what?
It was
how can you give a penalty, an offside penalty? I don't get
2 minutes
but
to
anyway,
go.
it is what it is. It was offside.
Yeah.
How they got away with it?
I thought it was a high shot. I thought they gave it to him because it was a high shot.
He got concussed, I reckon.
One call out I want to make, mate, is I thought, and when he came off, it changed, right, for a little bit. I thought Joseph Tapane was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He set up, I think he scored one or set it up on a platter. Him and Hudson Young,
was good.
were just leading by example. They were just really out there. Their origin material, well, Tapane can't play origin, but Hudson Young, he's got errors in him, like he can have those games, but he's got that heart. He's got that.
Look, on the day, he was good. You know what I thought about him the last month?
Yeah,
hasn't been good at all.
Yeah.
But on the day, he was good.
He was trying everything. That flick pass at the end.
He was the guy dragging him into the dogfight.
Yep.
He was the reason they were getting dragged in. Kept on getting dragged into the dogfight. You know what I mean?
And Elliot Whitehead too. Look, they've got a good team. I like the Canberra lineup. I think he just needs to work on the halves a little bit, Ricky, and he'll get there.
You know what? He must have things underneath because when he brought on what's that? Trey Mooney. Okay, I love Trey Mooney. I think they've picked him up from Penrith Reggies. Okay, he's ready to play first grade. He's ready to play first grade, but he'll probably drop him back into reserve grade again. He's got kids underneath there. Their balls and their ball team, their flag team's doing all well. So he's got underneath. So I hope that he starts filtering through because he needs to revitalise his team because Rapin is getting a bit old. You know what? I really feel bad for the ex-captain, the guy who retired. What's his name again? Croker?
Yeah.
Croker. You know, I mean, getting a few minutes last week. I don't know. At least give him a game in reserve grade to finish off. I felt for him. You know what I mean? Or put him on the bench. You know what he did to come back was a big thing, and it just dampened my spirits at the end of the year. He's done a lot for the club. But anyway, look, Knights go on to fight another week. But I'll say it again. How they get out of this one? How they get out of this one? Seriously, Adi, how they get out of this one? I've got no idea.
It was bizarre, mate. They did well. Now, this sets us up for next week. So Penrith and the Broncos winning gives them the week off. And next week this weekend we've got Storm versus the Roosters, and the winner of that playing the Broncos the following week. And no, the winner of that plays Penrith. Sorry. So whoever wins out of Storm and the Roosters plays Penrith. Mm-hmm. And we've got the Warriors and the Knights, and the winner of that plays Brisbane. So Penrith is guaranteed to play Brisbane, Warriors, or the Knights, which sets us up for a phenomenal grand final. If Penrith plays any one of those three, we're set up for some really excitement there, which is going to be really good.
What a game on Saturday!
Yeah, so
we'll go, and the Knights.
We'll go through those games after this, but before we go through that, mate, what was your best game of the round?
You know what? The Knights.
The Knights?
As a sheer entertainment.
Me too, mate.
Sheer entertainment. It was
quality.
It wasn't quality, but it was sheer entertaining. It had me on the edge of my seat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I was screaming, shouting. I was throwing chips up in the air. It was more fun than you can have.
It was, mate. It was. I agree with you, mate. That to me was the best game of the round. But the Roosters Sharks was up there as well. I liked that game too. It was brutal. And both teams were just hanging in there. Sharks showed us how to lose a final.
Yeah, specials.
They were specials.
Specials. Lose a final specials.
Phenomenal. Bludger. What was your bludger game? There wasn't really any bludger games with players.
Yeah,
but
there was no bludgers.
No?
No bludgers.
The only bludger I can think of is if
John Creese.
The guy on the scoreboard that was scoring for the Melbourne, because he had nothing to do. It was 0.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's the only one I can think of.
That's right.
Who stood out? Wow. What stood out or who?
What stood out? You know what stood out? Every ground was full.
Yeah.
30,000. I know that the President can only have 13,000, but it was full house.
Yeah.
It was full house, and every game had great atmosphere. And 50,000 at Brisbane. So yes, what stood out was the crowds. Mind you, can I just say something? I flicked the TV to the Melbourne game. It was 98,000.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway.
Yeah.
The crowds.
What stood out for me was Nathan Cleary being a show-off, mate.
Gee, it was good.
No, you would ask me why he was a show-off.
Okay, what was his show-off?
Mate, he set up a try with one shoe. Did you see that?
I did see it.
He goes, it's so easy, man. I can play with one shoe. I don't even need both shoes anymore. That was phenomenal. See that? He lost his shoe, quickly puts it on, came off again, just kept going as if nothing happened. He just set up a try. The kid was phenomenal.
We didn't mention it when we were talking about the game. He was very good.
Yeah,
he was very good. And there's a discussion which the journalists have got now that is he the equal to Cronk and Sterlo and I don't think at the moment because he's got to prove it in other in all the formats. But
that's what Gordon said. Yeah.
But in terms of club football, he's pretty good.
Yep.
But in saying that, he's playing in a sensational team.
Yeah.
But as Gordy said, because I heard it, Lockie played a sensational team. Joey played a sensational team.
Yep.
Sterlo played a sensational team. So there's no difference there.
Exactly right, mate.
So, but he was good. And
he was good.
Well, with socks. He can play with socks. He doesn't need boots.
Doesn't need them.
Doesn't
need them. Barefoot. You could probably kick for goals with
he
barefoot.
Probably could.
Oh, I can imagine.
He probably could.
What about the spray? Who gets a John Creese?
John Creese.
John Creese.
They weren't prepared.
Yeah.
The first time in my life I've seen a Melbourne team not prepared.
Yeah.
I've seen them lose, but I've never seen them beat themselves.
Yeah.
They beat themselves. So that's why I'm expecting something big this week.
I feel sorry for the guy, but I'm going to give it to Fogarty.
Yeah.
He should have iced that game. There was a couple of times. There was especially one moment where 10 metres out, he was literally under the crossbar, holding out those kick, and he kicked it to the corner for some
He
reason.
didn't have a good game.
And I just thought he lost his way there, mate. It
You know
was
what?
just crazy.
If he had a solid game, because people think he's had I don't think he had a solid game. If he had a solid game, they would have won.
Yeah.
Kick out in the full, the wrong options, the kicks of field goals and not nailing them. I mean, a halfback's going to want the ball in his hands, and he didn't want the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
So, I got to agree there. I got to agree.
What about Manoli, mate? Who's going to get the Souvlaki pack this week?
You know what? I haven't thought about who gets the Souvlaki pack.
Shoeless?
Yeah.
Mr. Nathan Cleary?
Yeah. You know what? You're going to give him the Souvlaki pack, aren't you?
I'm not going to give him the Souvlaki
Oh,
pack.
yeah, okay. I thought you were. Okay, yeah, well, then I'll give him the Souvlaki pack. And doesn't he love him?
Yeah.
He's had a few now. Doesn't he love him?
I'd like to make it my choice, but Manoli was on the phone and he forced me to have these three boys. Three.
Fuck him on the three of them.
Three.
Manoli.
He wants me to give it to Luke Keary, Sam Walker, and Tedesco for winning that game for the Roosters for the 2 blocked field goals and for the field goal that Sam Walker kicked. Bring them over, he said. He goes, I'm going to give them 10 Souvlaki packs. He's just going to feed them
They're always
deluxe.
school buddy, aren't they?
Oh, he loves them, mate. He was smiling from ear to ear, mate, that guy. He was so proud of that Roosters effort that he said, if you don't give these guys a Souvlaki pack, I'm not going to sponsor you anymore. And I said to Manoli, I go, you don't even sponsor us anyway. But anyway, that's a different question.
He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that, but anyway.
He thinks he does.
Yeah, so bit of forced effort there. But yeah, those three pulled it out of the 5 for the Roosters for an unlikely win. They did very well. And
you know that for some unknown reason, I can't appreciate Walker's play. I don't know why, but on the
he's
night,
21, mate.
no, on the night,
Yeah.
I got to admit, I thought he was outstanding. I got to admit, I thought he was outstanding. And as Cooper Cronk said, he's doing things at 21 which I didn't do at 27.
Yeah, see that.
So look, I got to listen to someone who I respect. So look, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a fan.
Yeah. Only a couple of rumours this week, mate. Oh, not a couple of rumours. There's one question from the fan and one from Giuseppina.
Oh, what do you got for me?
We got a question. We got a question from a fan. It was Ross from Townsville.
Ross from Townsville. Yeah. Oh no.
He said, "How good is Valentine? I went next door and borrowed some sugar, and he gave me some in a small bag.
Oh no.
I didn't even know he was my neighbour, and I took a photo of him giving me that small bag,
Oh, that's what
and then
happened.
posted on Insta.
Oh, is that what happened?
So Ross from Townsville, mate, why don't you tell the
Ross.
NRL Integrity Unit this? You don't tell us. You tell them.
Go tell them.
Poor guy's fighting for his life, man. He could have put the game in disrepute. What is it?
Nickel was there too. We got to ask him what happened. He'll tell us all the goss.
Unbelievable. Now, Giuseppina loves watching the old Italian movies, and there's a movie called Nosferatu. It's about Dracula. Apparently, they're going to do a remake, and they're looking for an NRL player that she reckons that could play Nosferatu. So I think we saw him on Sunday.
Can I just suggest play Jack? Yeah, I thought so.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Oh, mate, you know what? He's had some good training for it. So
Exactly, mate.
Look, he's done a good audition for it,
Yeah,
and hopefully we'll look now. But hopefully he gets 6 weeks, so plenty of time to do rehearse.
exactly. Mate. Now, we had one lucky guy this week. Well, the lucky man, I'll call him. The lucky man. This is true. This isn't a false rumour.
Okay,
It's a lucky man.
Tell me.
I just read about it today, right? You know that guy Alamotti that plays in centres for Canterbury?
I heard what he's done.
He just got picked up by Penrith. How lucky is that guy going from the Bulldogs to the Panthers? That guy's laughing.
Let me tell you, if next year we're not talking about him to be one of the best centres in the game,
Alamotti.
I will be a monkey's uncle. You wait. First thing I thought is, oh man, he's going to get into the Penrith system. So he's going to take Crichton's spot.
Yeah,
He's going to take Crichton's spot.
that is a killer.
And what's the bet? I'm going to tell you now. What's the bet? He'll be a superstar.
Yeah.
They'll be talking him so up. Yeah, what a great centre. This that. Mark my words.
I know, man.
He's only 19.
Yeah, I know.
He's only 19.
Smart pickup by the Panthers.
Smart pickup,
That is so
and they
good.
picked up Schneider. I'm telling you now, what I'm seeing from Schneider in England, and I could be wrong. He could come here and be a dud, but he's very good. He's very good.
Oh, man.
So look, you know what? Not only they produce good youngsters, not only they got great system, they can buy good. They do really smart buys. Penrith. Gee, they're a good club.
They're a good club. They know
They're
what they're
a
doing.
big club, good club.
Mate, one thing I want to go through with you, mate. Clubman of the year for each club. We're going to pick
yeah,
the best player.
Good.
Yeah.
I asked you this last week. Good.
You asked
good.
me that last week. So I went through, mate. No, I've gone through all the teams.
Yep.
So I've picked and you tell me if you agree.
Yeah, go for it.
So we'll go for the first. We'll go from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
So for the West Tigers, we've got back pain. Appy Coruscant. He got the clubman. He
Yep,
carried them
absolutely.
basically.
Not even a question. Not even a question. How good is he?
And if I had to give another guy, you always have to have a runner-up. I thought I'd give it to Jareem Buller. I think his debut season, and he was outstanding and looks like a guy that's going to be a future star. For the Tiger supporters who are still crying over losing Tedesco, I think this guy's going to make up for it. I think he's going to be a really good player.
And he'll probably get Dalian Rookie of the Year. Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, well, he'll be good there for a few years until the Roosters pick him up. But anyway, fantastic. For the Dragons, being a Dragon supporter, that was hard to pick, man. I couldn't think.
Who could you pick?
I ended up going with two forwards, man. I went for blocker, Blake Laurie.
I thought Laurie. I think Laurie.
And the guy that I think's been putting in a lot all year was Jack de Belin.
One of your favourites.
Yeah.
One of your favourites.
He's a tackling machine.
He puts in Laurie undoubtedly full of heart. And look, I'm not going to argue with de Belin. I'm not going to argue with de Belin.
Yeah,
he was injured back end of the year anyway. So.
Yeah, well, he got suspended because of that bullshit tackle. Remember that stupid
which one?
Hip drop.
That's right.
Remember?
That's
it was
right.
nothing.
Swung around, yeah.
But I feel sorry for Lomax because he would have been the superstar, but he had a dud coach at the start of the year who put him on the wrong side and dropped him as well. So anyway, brighter future for you, Mr. Lomax, because I think Flano's going to fix you right up. For the Bulldogs.
It was only one.
Jacob Preston?
Yeah, only one. He got all the awards at Prezzo night.
Yeah, deservedly so.
Yeah, look, for a 21-year-old, he went there for a train and trial and not only got a permanent spot through a train and trial, but obviously one of our best players.
Yep.
And probably talk of Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
How can you argue?
Exactly.
I couldn't believe that he could play so well.
Yeah. Runner-up. I had to pick a runner-up for that, and I could only think of Matt Burton. Would you replace him with someone else?
Yeah.
Who?
The kid who's going to the Dolphins.
Averillo.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Averillo too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought Burton was terrible this year.
He wasn't the best, but
I
couldn't find anyone to stand out.
Yeah.
Reid Marnie started really well. I thought he was going to be one of those, but then he sort of dropped off a little bit.
No. The only good player was Averillo, or you can argue Carraz first half of the year.
Yeah, Carraz first half, but then he's waned.
Yeah.
And the other winger that they brought on, he was lively at the end.
Look, he's actually, I was gonna say he's youngster, he's 22, but he's quick.
The Titans. I went Big Tino.
Yeah,
you got to give it to Tino. He was fantastic, and I like the winger.
Which one?
Khan Pereira. He scored 20 tries on his debut.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He had a phenomenal year. I thought. I know there was other guys that stood out, but I just really liked him. He'd sniff a try out of nothing. That guy. I really enjoyed watching him. So
outstanding.
You agree with those?
I love him. Yeah, I love them both.
Good stuff, man. For the Dolphins, they had a fantastic year. It had to go to the Hammer.
Yeah.
Made his origin I think he played origin last year, but this year he played in the centres. I thought it was really good.
You're right.
And it had to go to frequent flyer, mate. Is Jermaine Asako.
Asako, yeah.
Top scorer of the new club, broke a record, Mal Meninga's record. So that's no mean feat. So.
Well, you got it right. And honourable mention there to the hooker. And he got injured, I know.
Yeah, he got
injured.
But
he was outstanding, Jeremy Marshall King, when he was playing.
For sure. For the Seagulls, we got the old man, DCE.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Best year.
Oh, yeah.
And the runner-up, I got Olakawatu. I thought he was...
Is that the back rower?
Yeah, the back rower. I thought he had a good year.
He started well, and he
Back end he started
flattened out, and he kicked up the last couple of games. Yeah, look, he's a young kid with a big future.
They were talking him Origin at one stage.
Yeah. No, he started the front half of the year. The first 8 games were outstanding.
Yeah. Cowboys, we went for our favourite, Drinky.
Yeah.
Drinkwater had a really good game. He even got sort of called into the New South Wales squad.
Yeah, no, Drinky's
He was good.
electric, yeah.
And the other guy who did actually break into the side was Reece Robson, so I gave him as the runner-up.
He's the best.
I
Reece
thought
Robson,
I thought he had a good year.
he's the best. What he does, and with a limited amount of talent that he's got, he's the best.
Yeah.
I love him. He's the glue of that team.
He is. For the Eels, I went for Jermaine Hopgood.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I thought he was solid every
gotta be.
game. He was just
Yeah.
consistently good. And you've got to give it to the King, Gutho,
Yeah, the
as a runner-up.
guy doesn't stop.
he was.
Guy doesn't stop. He's
He
full of
doesn't stop.
beans.
He was good in the last game too. That last game stood out. He just really took on the
Mate,
Penrith
his
spot.
knee was
on his
blown,
own.
and he kept on playing.
Phenomenal.
He's amazing. That
And
guy.
oh god,
He's your X factor.
he is. And I know. And what's that? Brad Arthur didn't want him. Nick would be crying now. Saying,
He's
we
your
need an X factor. Get
You
Brad
got
Arthur
him.
gone. He loves Brad Arthur.
Get rid of Brad
Oh
Arthur.
my god. Oh my god. Rabbitohs. We've got Swallowmatangi. Would he be up there? I thought he had a great year.
Yeah,
man.
no, he's probably the only one because all of
Damien
them
Cook.
started. Yes,
Cookie?
yes, Cookie. I full respect. He kept his head high.
He played well.
Yeah, he kept his head high. Everything that was happening around him, and he held up his bargain. You know what? They started. All of them were man of the matches or clubman of the year, but after Origin, they were all ready to go to Reggie's personally.
Yeah.
But you're right about Tungi.
Yeah.
Tungi, you're right.
And Damien Cook was the runner-up for
Yeah,
that one.
Cookie, yeah, for sure.
For the Raiders, I went for Joseph Tapine. I thought he was good all year.
Yeah.
He's solid. And Jordan Rapana.
Yes. Jordan Rapana, for his age, 33.
Yeah.
Just keeps on
It
keeping
just kept on going, mate.
Look, you know what? I got to admit, they haven't got a very good spine. He's the only part of the spine that really works.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Rapana holds everything together.
It's got to be Rapana. Now we go to the Roosters. It's got to be Lindsay Collins. Unbelievable year he's had. And Luke Keary, because he played a lot of games this year, he usually gets injured. So he's played a lot, and he's had Sam Walker injured out. He's had other halves, multiple halves play next to him. But he steers the ship still.
I'm not going to say no about Luke.
Luke Keary, yeah.
But definitely the first one, what'd you say?
Lindsay Collins.
Yeah,
he
definitely
was
Lindsay.
amazing.
Definitely Lindsay, yeah.
No one beats him, mate.
Definitely.
Really good. Manu, yes, but he got injured a bit, so that's why they put him in there. For the Sharks, my top two are Brenton Nakora and Nico Hines.
I
Those
love
two?
Nico. I love Nico. You know I'm a fan of Nico.
I was impressed.
So,
I was impressed with Nakora, man. I just can't believe how good this guy is. He's a dynamic, like the way he runs those lines and how hard it.
Yeah.
He really sets them up well.
You just get better. Just keep on getting better.
Keeps on getting better. The Knights, I got Dominic Young as their best.
Yeah.
25 tries.
For sure.
And I've got to give it to the St George back rower, Tyson Frizzell.
You know
His
what?
best year
Not only is his best year, maybe it's his best year of all time.
of all time.
You think so?
I agree, yeah.
Because you've seen a lot
Consistent.
of him. Consistent.
Like from round one to now, he's been putting in the same effort. Just doesn't drop off.
And he had a hard time at Origin, which he got dropped. And unlike Nico,
Don't understand that one. That was a fitless special.
Right, it is what it is when it comes to Brad. And unlike Nico, he just shrugged it off and came back to clubland and just kept on playing well. So I'm a massive fan.
Yeah. We go to the Warriors. We've got Lambrusco, Sean Johnson,
Yeah, he's the
age
best.
like wine,
He's the best.
and Disney, Adam Fanil Blake, Aladdin.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two, yeah.
They were the two best. For the Storm, I like the back rower Katoa, the guy that he got from the Warriors. I thought he was outstanding this year. Every game he played was really good. And Jerome Hughes, probably his best.
Hughes
year.
for sure. Katoa, the back rower.
Yeah, he was great, mate.
Was he?
Yeah. Who would you have put?
No.
Would you have put Grant? instead?
No, I wouldn't Nishi.
No?
Nishi, I don't think he had the greatest year.
He had some good games.
Yeah, not the greatest. Yeah, it wasn't his greatest year. I mean, definitely the halfback. Definitely the halfback.
Yeah.
Storm's a funny team. Storm's a funny team this year.
Yeah. So for the Broncos, I had Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money,
Payne Haas. Undoubtedly.
and Reflections, Reece
Yes,
Walsh.
absolutely.
Those two were just...
Not even a question. Not even a question.
They've got to be, man. No one was better than them. I thought Carrigan would be up there, Joe Spooner's dream, but no, he's had to get there.
Well, he had a lot of time off too. With the ankle.
He did actually. Yeah, you're right. And for the Panthers to finally run it off, to me, I know it was tough because they were all fantastic.
So how do you pick a best player in the Panthers?
But for me, it went to Liam Martin.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Doesn't he make a difference?
Yeah,
Like, he just
he makes a difference.
doesn't he lift them a bit? He does that
lifts
hit to lift them.
He lifts them.
And I gave it to a young gun, man, Taruva.
Taruva. I knew you loved Taruva.
113 line breaks at an average of 168 metres a game in his first year.
Wow.
Oh, I think he played 1 or 2 games last year, but this is his first full year, and mate, he handled it so easily. You know how many times I was bombing that guy, and he caught I don't think I saw him drop a ball.
Yeah.
He was just so reliable, so strong carries, and everything about him.
I'm a fan. And I like when he's made the other centre who's injured.
Yeah.
I forget his name every time.
Taylor May.
No.
Oh, Isaac Targo.
Isaac Targo.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
Because they're on the same side. When those two together, it just gives me so much confidence.
Brilliant, mate.
So I
Phenomenal.
like it. Artie, I like them. You
liked it?
You picked them well. Loved it.
We'll send him the Manolis
No,
Slovakia.
they get
Flower. Cornelius.
Cornelius.
All right.
Cornelius flowers. That was, you know, the roses. They're from
busy,
Cornelius.
He'll be flat out, that
I
Cornelius.
know, send them all around. But he'll do it. He loves his league.
And he hand delivers too.
He delivers.
He doesn't. He cuts cost on delivery, so he does it himself.
Of course he does. That's how he became a millionaire.
Yeah.
That's how he became a millionaire.
Now, let's go to the next round, mate. We've only got 2 games to cover here. We've got 2 cracking games. We start on the Friday night. We've got the Storm up against the depleted Roosters. Mate, I'll give you some stats, mate. Can I give you some stats?
Please.
The 26-0 loss to Brisbane was the first time the Storm have been held scoreless since round 15, 2020, 14-0 against the Eels.
Wow.
Roosters have won 8 of their 12 finals matches since the opening week of 2018.
Really?
So they've got a good finals record, but depleted, I don't think they can.
Yeah.
The Roosters are aiming for their 7th consecutive victory, which is pretty good. And the Storm have won 7 of their past 9 games at AMI Park. So their record's really good there. And the Storm are aiming to reach a preliminary final for the 8th time in the past 9 seasons. That's a pretty damn good record.
They're a good club. They're a good club. That's why I don't understand what happened last week.
What's your thoughts on that one, mate?
On this game here, you know what? I think you said it, Artie. Depleted. You know what? We see the lineup here.
Yeah.
So Momorowski's in.
Corey Allen.
Corey Allen's in.
Pauga.
Okay.
He played last week. He was pretty good, actually.
And Polo.
Another good find. Pauga.
Polo.
And Polo, yeah,
Polo's
he's
in.
back as well.
And the forward pack, wow, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Forwards are good. It's just the back line that's going to be a bit weak. Justin Olam, I think, is back for the Warrior. Have a look at the Storm. If you go back to the Storm back line, I think they've got a couple of new ins. They've got Justin Olam back. So
he's getting serious. He's putting Olam in.
Remus Smith.
Thank God he put Remus Smith and Justin Olam in. Thank God. About time.
Yeah.
About time. And who's
Marion Sevi.
Yeah.
He was there last week.
He was there last week.
He's always there. And Nick Meaney,
Nick Meaney is a fullback. Well, now he's got no choice, has he?
Interesting story about that. Apparently St. George, Flanagan's been in his ear trying to bring him in.
Which one?
Meaney. But I think now with Pap, he might not let him go.
They're not going to let him go. You know what? I think the Storm does not lose 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
I think Grant, I think Jerome Hughes, I think Monster do not have 2 bad games in a row.
Yeah.
I think in Melbourne, and Roosters depleted.
Yeah, the back line's gone, mate.
They're depleted. They're very their attack still is clunky. So is Storm, but I think Storm's in a better position. I actually think he might be a 13+ game this one. I think he might get away on the Roosters.
Might get away, mate. Yeah, unfortunately.
But you know what? We thought that about the Knights and the and Milk as well. So if Milk can drag it back, that is Canberra. If Milk can drag it back, who knows here? But if you ask me for a tip, I'm going Storm 13+.
Storm 13+? Yeah. Yeah, I think Storm will win this, mate. The Roosters have got too many out, so I can't see nothing less than a Storm victory.
The pack's still
still good, but yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
The backs are depleted.
The next game, so if the Storm do win this game, they play the Broncos. So the winner of this game plays the Broncos for a place in the grand final. The next one is... Oh, no, sorry. I keep getting it mixed up. They play Penrith. I always get it mixed up. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. Storm versus Panthers or Roosters Panthers. After that, we've got on the Saturday afternoon game, isn't it? 4 o'clock.
Yes. Good time.
That's what I want to ask you about, actually.
I like the time.
Do you reckon the semis should be both Saturday and Sunday afternoon games? I reckon that'd be a great idea, wouldn't it? That's how it used to be in the old days.
I do. But you do know why they've got it on...
It's nights. It's ratings, isn't it?
Ratings.
But and have they got it because it's a Warriors game? And
regardless, yes, but regardless, even it's Saturday. So it's a Friday game. It's the highest rating show on Fox.
Yep.
And Saturday nights are the second highest rating games on Fox.
Also the time difference. If they play
the time difference
4 o'clock our time is 7 o'clock their time. Or
6 o'clock their time.
There you go.
So that's why they do that. But I don't mind the 4 o'clock.
Yeah, me too.
I don't mind
think
the 4
it'll be fantastic.
I don't mind it at all.
Okay, we've got Warriors and Knights. The Knights will be playing for a club record equaling 11 consecutive victories if they win this game.
Really?
So that is amazing. Lesbian Act requires 2 tries against the Knights to equal the Warriors' record for the most tries in a season. That was done by Francis Melly and David Fisitua, 23 in 2018 for Fisitua. Saturday night semi-final will be the first match played between the Warriors and the Knights. First final.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the first time they're meeting in a finals game. The Knights have won just 8 of 22 matches at the Go Media Stadium, which is in, not Eden Park, what's the other one? Mount Smart. Used to be Mount Smart. Knights wingers Dom Young and Greg Marju have 46 tries between them, 23. So the Lesbian Act and Montoya have 30 between them. So a lot of tries there. Did you know that Aladdin or Disney is averaging 66 post-contact meters?
He's the best.
He's freaking good,
isn't he? You know what? He's equal to Haas,
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah,
he's equal to Haas.
I know. He's great.
Hey, who's Dylan Lucas? Did he play last week?
Yeah, he's good. He's actually looking all right.
Okay.
And the Knights have won 4 of the past 5 games against the Warriors.
The Knights have?
They've got a good record against them.
Okay.
So we've got Johnson back, which is good.
Yeah, and that's the key. I think the fairy tale's over, unfortunately. I think the fairy tale's over. I think Warriors in New Zealand at 6 o'clock, their time, 4 o'clock our time, full house. I think that anything could happen, but I think the Warriors will win, and it might be 13+. Because really, the Knights were a little bit messy. The game was outstanding. It was entertaining, but they were a little bit messy last week.
Yeah,
they missed a lot of tackles.
We're going to go opposite here, mate.
Yeah. Go. No. Look, anything could happen.
I thought the Knights were a bit nervous last week because they were playing at home behind that big crowd. I think the same's going to happen to the Warriors this week. I think they're going to get a bit nervous.
Maybe.
Big crowd. I think Tyson Gamble's going to... You won't be able to hear his sledging. He's going to be so loud. Adam Clune's back. So Jackson's out, which is a big out for the Knights. But he's been playing well.
The thing hasn't been playing that well. The control freak hasn't been playing that
Jackson,
well. Really.
He's not.
He's injured. No, he's injured. I know he's injured for a fact. I know that if they weren't playing semi-finals, I've got my sources. They will say that he'll be nowhere near the first grade team. Nowhere near the first grade team. So he played with a double noodle to run on.
Yeah.
So he was quiet. So no, you know what? Thing's good. Clune's good. He'll do a job. He'll do more than a job. You know what? You get Ponga in a position, and he'll strip. The Warriors. He'll strip them every time.
Yeah.
So this is the one that I'm intrigued. This is the game that I'm looking forward
absolutely,
to.
yeah.
This is the one. I cannot wait. In saying that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are they in? So does that mean?
Oh, they're available, but they're not all
right,
in,
all right.
yeah.
So there's 2 out only. And you know what's a shame about Fitzgibbon?
Yeah,
Out.
he was
was
good.
playing well.
Yeah.
He was playing well. So, but I'm going Warriors. I said 13 plus. I'm going to take that back, but Warriors.
Yeah, okay.
And you're going Knights,
yeah.
and I can't wait.
It's going to be a cracker. Yeah.
I can't wait. And
Dan Gagai can't afford to make those mistakes again. They're dropping balls every now and left, right, and
Gagai
centre,
cannot afford to make those mistakes again, because if they will, the Warriors will take control. You know what? The Warriors, they try to play a lot like Penrith in terms of a control style of game. Very structured. So like they're not going to get into this hustle and bustle, messy sort of game that you see that when the Knights played against Milk. You're not going to see that type of game, because the Milk tried to get you into a messy game. That's their aim was a bit of drop ball, a bit of stop start, a bit of physicality, a little bit of rough up. That you keep on breaking down play. Not kicking the ball out. That was there. You're not going to get that with the Warriors.
Absolutely.
It's going to be very smooth, very slick, very very controlled rugby league. If the Knights make errors, like Panthers, they'll pay for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait.
Adam G is the referee for that game. I just wanted to check who the referee was for that one, because that's going to be a really important game.
Great.
That one.
Fantastic. That's Adam G. Yeah, another star, another star in the making. Yeah, I'm not a fan of referees. Yeah, I take that back. Referees, I've got no problem with the bunker, because the bite-in, he sent it up to the bunker.
Yeah.
All the incidents that happen, they send it up to the bunker, and the bunker comes down with some crazy decisions. But anyway, I mean, we've talked about it. I hope that what I said is not true about maybe a big game is going to be decided by referee decision. Now, if the Knights game was decided by referee's decision, well, at least it was in the positive.
Yeah.
Because the penalty in the front was the positive, but don't like it. Anyway.
All right, George, the part we're all waiting for is the tidbits, mate. We want to know the NRLW and the plight of the World Club Champions.
World Champions. Well, I haven't got that much beside the regular stuff, mate. I want to shout out to the Men of League. They're changing their name to the Family of League. They're, who the Men of League are. They help underprivileged ex-players, and generally they're not the high-profile players. They're players who, the lesser likes, and they give them a hand. They've given well over $1 million, Artie, out to ex-players.
Yeah.
I think it's very important, because everybody doesn't earn $500,000 and $600,000 and $700,000 a year. Yeah. And they go back, and even on television this week we see Carl Webb, who's
made in Europe.
Yep. I don't know if you saw the special of him. So they're human beings, and they fall into hard times. And I want to take actually my hat to the founder. The founder of the Men of League, Artie, which when you got a mental block, Ron Coote. Ron Coote was is the chairman still, and he's the founder of the Men of League, and I've got him as a player in profile.
Okay.
On the back of that, when I was reading about the Men of League, and it dawned to me how important the movement is.
Yeah.
So you know what they were saying some stories. I was reading about some stories about some players. You know what? I nearly brought tears to my eye.
Mm.
So that's why I went to that's why I went and done a review on Ron Coote. We're following the plight of the world champions, Adi.
Yep.
The St Helens Rugby League team, and this week, as you heard me say, I watched them play against the Lee Leopards, and it was one of the most brutal and physical game I've seen in recent memory. It was such a good game. The referee did the right thing and just put that whistle in the pocket and let the boys sort it out. And if you can anytime watch first half at least, it was I couldn't take my eyes off it.
Yeah.
It was so brutal. But look, they played the Lee Leopards and they came out on top, 20-12.
Are they both on so St Helens won?
St Helens beat the Lee Leopards.
And Lee Leopards are equal first, aren't they?
No, well, not anymore. We'll get to that.
So it was the top of the ladder clash.
It was,
a top four.
It was
clash,
a top four for sure.
Yep.
Top four.
Yep.
Huddersfield 18. Hull KR 26. Wigan. Mate, I got up and I watched Wigan playing. You know that I think Wigan's the best team in England. I saw a Carl Pearce-Paul and a Bevan French masterclass.
Oh, wow.
They absolutely ripped the heart out of Leeds to the tune of 50-0. Yeah.
50-0.
I can't wait to see Carl Pearce-Paul in NRL. I can't wait. If he does what he's doing in England, Newcastle's going to be... They've got another Ponga on his hand. They've got another Ponga on their hand in the middle. So I can't wait.
Smart recruitment.
I hope it works out. You know what?
And that's what Canterbury got to do. They've got to go in St George. They've got to go to England and get these guys.
You know he's been signed over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So they signed him at 19.
Oh, okay.
So that's all something that no one else has seen.
Jeez.
So I can't wait. And you know what? Bevan French, he's wasting his time in England. He's got to come back to Sydney somewhere.
For sure.
Castleford 29, Hulk FC 12, Catalans 18, Trinity 10. Pretty disappointing. Trinity's last, and they're going to be relegated.
But Catalans is at the top, isn't it? They only just won 18-10 against the last.
Yeah, so I don't know what's happening there. Maybe they're just resting their players or something. So I don't know what happened. Maybe because there's only 2 more weeks to go before their semi-finals.
Mm-hmm.
And your team, Adi, Warrington 20, unfortunately went down. Salford 24. So what do you do? I don't know what's happening there either. Let me give you an idea of the table. You got Wigan 20 coming first with 36, and they got plus 316.
316, wow.
Catalans coming second with 36, and they got plus 230.
Ooh, okay.
You got third St Helens with 36. They got plus 217.
So there's 3 teams on 36 points.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they could come second easily because they got their 217 and Catalans 230. Number 4, Adi, Nico and my team, the Lee Leopards with the ugliest jerseys in the world.
Yep.
With 30, and they got plus 80. Coming fifth, Hull KR, which they've got 28 points, and they got plus 35. 6, your team, Adi, the Warrington Wolves.
Wow, they've dropped, man.
But they got 26. They're in the 8. They're in the 6 with plus 85, and right on their heels, coming 7th, and the only other team that can make the top 6, Salford with 26, but they got plus 5.
Wow. So if they beat them, if they beat Salford, they would have had a little bit of a buffer,
Yeah.
more of a buffer.
Yeah. So
Warrington.
it's a opportunity gone to waste. But
Did
look,
you watch that game?
they didn't show the games they showed were the Wigan ones,
Okay.
and they showed the Saints one, St
Okay.
Helens one. And we showed 2 games this week. Usually they show 3 games, but they showed 2 games on this week. NRLW.
So George, how many more weeks have they got?
2.
And then they got finals.
Then they got
So
finals.
just in time for so their finals start roughly when ours finish.
I
The
think-
grand
I
final
think-
with
yeah,
the first week. Okay,
Yeah,
so
something
still a
around
bit of
there.
rugby league for you to watch that
Yeah,
after.
but because they sort of play the top 5 system, top
okay.
5 or top 6, it's much shorter.
Yeah.
But I'll be watching. I think their grand final is 2 weeks after ours.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, a little bit of rugby league. Then we got the international game,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
the Pacific Nation Test. NRLW, I enjoyed it. We talked about the local derby, Adi. Sharks 16, Dragons 8. The score didn't indicate the game really.
Yeah.
I thought it was much tighter than that. I've got to give my flowers. Cornelius will be giving flowers to all these girls this week. Emma Tomagato.
Yeah.
I don't believe she's a 5'8", but when you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
And she rips teams apart. She doesn't catch and pass. She's not your traditional 5'8". She runs a lot, but she's good.
Yeah.
And one of my favourite, Tiana Panatani. She scored 2 tries on the night, Artie, and she's another one who's very, very good. And she's a genuine football player.
Yeah.
She's got great anticipation. She scored 2 tries. She's the one who kept on putting the Dragons away. On the Dragons side, they actually kept Tegan Berry pretty quiet.
Yeah.
They had people around her all the time, but she still managed to penetrate. And there's your 5'8", Adi, and excuse my pronunciation of her name. She's a New Zealand rugby nines player. It's her first season here, and she's doing really, really well. And she's going to get better. Tyler Nathan Wong.
Tyler Nathan Wong.
Is that right?
Yeah, Nathan Wong.
Okay, I got it right. Outstanding.
Yeah. Okay.
Outstanding. She's the best. The best is yet to come with her. But right now, she's just blowing things up. She's so good.
And Racine McGregor, isn't she the one that won the medallion?
Yes.
Yes.
And she's good. She's very good. But it's what's around her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, Tegan's the superstar.
Sure.
But they just block supply off to her. So they've learnt the NRL system. If you want to keep someone quiet, you don't attack him. You attack everything around him.
Yeah.
That's what NRL player coaches do now. The Broncos.
I found our favourite player, Ella Costa. Her name's our son's.
Okay.
Yeah, the names are after our son.
Yeah, you know what? She's good as well. She's very quick. She's tall. I think she didn't score a try, but she's a good one. I think it's her first year. Her first year in the top flight. So that's that.
Her surname's the same as our son's name.
No,
so
no.
There you go, mate.
She's the one. She's the one.
Ella Costa.
Broncos 22, West 18. Adi, the Raiders 34. The Cows 12.
With the Broncos game, sorry, mate, that was a comeback, wasn't it? They came back from behind.
I didn't watch
Was
it.
it a last minute?
I won't lie to you.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it was a last minute or 66th minute they scored to win the game.
Oh, look at
So
that.
it went down
Take
to
me
the
3
wire.
tries to
And they kicked the goal, so they were behind by 16 or 16-18, and they scored in the last 4 minutes.
That's, you know what, Broncos are not the team that they were, and West are better than they appear to be on the table.
Yeah.
The Titans 34, the hatless and luckless Eels 12. Unfortunately, Artie, just not having a good season, our team.
No.
And the game of games, the top of the table clash.
Yep.
The Knights 20, the Roosters 4. The score didn't indicate the game, but let me tell you, on the Knights part, Tamika Upton, a fullback. I've spoke about her before. She's She will be the Australian fullback. Very, 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 very quick. But to boot, she understands the game. So you got a lot of players now who are really athletical, but don't understand the game. So they get the ball and they run and they're athletical and they seem to make breaks and this and that. So the argument is, but the girls who understand rugby league, like you're Jess Southwells, there's halfbacks in the competition here who just pass the ball to you with no reason. They just pass the ball to you. Southwell hits you on a shoulder. She understands about going to the line and taking someone with her and trying to hit on the shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, she doesn't get it all the time, but I can see what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Tamika, okay, like fullbacks and Tegan Berry, she's very quick.
Yeah.
So she gets the ball and runs. But Upton understands catch, pass, understands draw, understands when to kick, when not to kick. So she's the complete package. She's unbelievable. You didn't know this. You probably don't know this. You know Jessie Southwell, okay, the halfback for Newcastle. Do you know she got a sister?
No.
The lock forward's called Hannah Southwell, and she's the captain of the team. And you know what? She's just as good.
Oh, wow.
She's just as good. She's a workhorse. She's the workhorse one of them. Okay, love them. On the other side, the Roosters, Corbin Baxter, the fullback, she returned this year. Last year she had a baby, so she returned this year. Okay, outstanding.
Yeah.
Seriously, outstanding from fullback. The 5'8" for the Roosters, a girl called Atkins, Tara Atkins. If she doesn't get the Dally M of the year, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Yeah.
She's so good. And off the bench, a name you will know, Piani Hopewadi. Okay,
Oh, there you go.
big forward. Okay, outstanding.
Yeah.
Seriously, she's so young. She's only 19. So one to watch.
One thing you just said there before, well, you know you're listening to the NRLW results when you hear that the ladies come back from having a baby. Most of my injury or something, but this lady's
Year
just
out for a
after having a
baby.
baby.
Yeah. And you know
That's
what?
when you know.
It's funny when the training, they bring their kids, and they got now because of the new rules, they sorted out.
Yeah.
There's baby mining ladies in the dressing room, so they mine all the kids, and it's just funny.
What would happen if you signed, just say, a DC contract, a 10-year contract, and then 5 years in, the lady goes, "I'm pregnant." I'll go, "Oh no,
Hey,
what? That's 2 years. We've got no."
you know what?
What's happening?
Probably in the new CBA, they probably got all rights to do that.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny, eh?
You'd be spewing if you sign a long-term contract and they fall pregnant halfway through it. And
Would be. And imagine if she's the elite.
That's why they're short contracts, 1 year or 2 years.
Well, yeah, they're all short contracts.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense,
it's going to get longer apparently now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The CBA is sorted out, so they're going to be signed for 3 to 5 years. So a lot of them are. So you know what? When you got someone like Jessie Southwell who's 18, you'd sign her for 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe a 25-year-old girl, and you know that she's married. Maybe you'd be a bit hesitant to sign her for 5 years, sign her for 2.
Yeah.
The player in profile, as I said before, Adi, Ron Coote. Now, I'm going to assume that you don't know too much about Ron Coote.
Not too much. I've heard of his name. I heard he was a star, but
Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I remember very vaguely, the end of his career, 74 when he was playing for the Roosters, and I've seen a lot of clips of him. But let's see what I found out about him. He was born in Kingsford, 1944. Adi. He was a Souths junior and the son of Rooster forward Jack Coote. So his dad played for the Chooks.
Chooks, wow.
Yeah. So he comes from that DNA. If you don't know anything about him, he was a tall, rangy lock with an upright running style. So back then, so he was a tall sort of. You've seen how he looks, a tall sort of skinny guy. You know what I mean? Lock. A lot of the forwards, the tall guys, would sort of bend their backs a little bit back in the 60s and sort of run into defence with their hand over their heads. So back then, head high was not, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
He just straight and would run just straight, straight and just run hard, which was. And he was quick too, which was a little bit strange for back then, Adi.
Yeah.
He was famous for his outstanding cover defence and low round the leg tackle. So I'll explain that too. Back in the day, there was the front line. Okay, then the lock will stand just behind the line and he would follow play for any half break. Remembering that back then the line wasn't straight; it was all jagged, and they didn't move up. But it was only 3 meters.
Yeah,
back then, when Saints won all that comp, they were 3 meters. They were going back 3.
They were 5.
Then they went back to 5 in the late 60s, early 70s. Okay, but what he did, he would be in the line. And he was so quick, when semi-breaks were made, he would go behind. So when the ball would go past him, he would go behind the line. Okay. Yeah. So he was a little bit of a freak thing. Yeah. And he was a defensive player who would go right around the bootlaces. First thing, again, something that the forwards didn't do.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was his claim to fame. He was named the Prince of Locks. Now, when he was named the Prince of Locks, Artie, don't forget at that same era that Johnny Raper was around. So he was.
Wow.
I don't know. As a lock, I mean, because Johnny played back row lock, and I think he played in the backs as well sometimes. But he was highly rated. He played 151 games for Souths, and he played 108 games for the Roosters.
Wow.
So,
and back then, I think the seasons were like 15 rounds. I went 12 rounds, so 150 is like over 10 seasons. So
yeah.
So he played
because
quite a fair bit of seasons.
Here we go. He played in 9 grand finals in 11 seasons. So he played for 11 seasons. Okay. He won 4 for Souths and 2 for East.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. So I'll tell you what. Imagine 11 playing in like 11 seasons and been in 9 GFs. Every year you're in a GF.
Brilliant. Yeah, well done.
GF. He had an arm injury. He got an arm injury in 78, playing for the Roosters, which sort of forced him to retire.
Oh.
So I think he retired mid-year. His arm was that bad.
Jeez.
He played.
How old was he? What do you know? What year?
He must have been 78.
30s?
78.
44.
So
34.
He was 34. So that even for then, it was a long, because usually they would retire in their late 20s back then.
Yeah.
So he played on. He played on. He played 148 times for Souths, scoring 48 tries.
Jeez.
He played 109 games for the Roosters, scoring 39 tries.
Wow.
He played 15 times for New South Wales and 23 times for Australia.
Was that an amazing career, this guy?
Well, he was known, and I'm surprised he's not an immortal.
Yeah.
Some of his accolades, he was named in the South's Dream Team.
Yep.
Named in the Roosters' greatest ever team. He's a Hall of Famer, so he's in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah. He was named in the 100 greatest players of all time. He's in the ARL team of the century.
There you go.
Okay. He's New South Wales second rower of the century. He's a lifetime member of the SCG and has a plaque in the Walk of Fame,
Yep.
or the Walk of Honor. So when you walk into the SCG and there's statues and plaques, his name's on one of those plaques.
Pretty good.
He's a member. He's the member of Order of Australia. So he's got what's it called? The Order of Australia medal. And probably importantly, is after football, he was a successful businessman. He had McDonald's franchises when he left. When he left, and he had furniture stores as well. Ron Coots. He had furniture stores, so he was a businessman, and probably more important than anything he's done, Artie, he was the founder and he's still the president of the Men of League. So he's the one who.
He's a champion, mate. What a man.
Yes,
he's the man.
And that was on the back of when I was reading about the Men of League changing their name, and I was reading what they've done in the last X amount of years. And again, I don't really know them. I haven't seen him play, nor do I know Ron Coote that well. Yeah. But I had to go back and discover him, and I liked it. And you know what, Adi, usually we've got a song of the week, and I had a song of the week picked out for Nicola. Yeah. He's not here, so Rocky. He's a fan. I'm a fan.
Yeah. Survivor.
Well,
Eye of the Tiger.
I was going to do. Yep, that was one of them. But there's another song on the soundtrack called "There's No Easy Way Out."
Yes. It's a great song. By Survivor as well, isn't it?
No.
It's not?
No, it's not by Survivor. I don't think it is by Survivor. It's
sure?
Yep. It's not by Survivor. I'm pretty sure it isn't by Survivor. It's actually a song that I'm holding back for Nicola. Another song that he likes, and I'll reveal that next week. But this was one of the picks. So
that's Rocky 4? Ivan Drago?
Ivan Drago, yeah. No easy way out. There's no shortcuts. Yeah. In saying that, Ivan Drago's a better song.
No, they're both good songs.
But how about we'll get the boy Wonder to attach that song at the end of the pod? Okay.
That sounds great, man.
Good on you, mate. Good on you.
Awesome.
We done it.
That concludes.
we got through it.
We got through it without Nico. Nico, we miss you, mate. You better be back next week.
Strange, Nicola. Please. Strange.
Before we go, mate, what are you looking forward to this week?
The Saturday game. The Warriors and the Knights. Yep. I think that's got some ingredients to be a little doozy.
Sure.
I've got no idea what's going to happen with the Storm game. Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah. Me too, mate. I'm looking forward to the Saturday game. I think the Knights Warriors is just anything's going to happen there. It could be 38-36. It could be 12-10. It could be whatever. We don't know.
I do know. I'm pretty confident that because they're both sudden death, they're going to be exciting.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You want to look about sudden death? It doesn't matter if it's a blowout score, not a blowout score. You can see that the boys are desperate.
Yeah.
It's never a blowout score anyway.
For sure.
Never a blowout score. I mean, some games are technically ugly, but always exciting. Yeah. I mean, the Cronulla game was technically ugly, but very exciting.
It was.
The Knights game was technically very ugly, but very exciting. So, it's the best part of the year. I'll tell you now, it's the best part of the year. And the worst part of the best part of the year is it's close to the end.
Yeah.
And no, I hate that.
I know, man.
But what do you do?
What can we do?
What do you do?
All right, guys, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the pod, and happy rugby league. We'll see you next week, hopefully. We should be right.
Yeah, we should be, we should be right. Happy rugby league, everybody.
Everyone.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.